Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma Reforger, and in this video I just wanted for us to take a look around the amazing landscape that is Everon, because Bohemia Interactive have made several changes to the engine which has made this place look even better than it did before. So if you're not familiar with it, Arma Reforger is the kind of halfway house between Arma 3 and Arma 4. And Arma Reforger runs on the new version of the Enfusion engine that kind of DayZ runs on. And when there will be a DayZ 2, or when DayZ that we have now, DayZ standalone, let's call it for console and PC, evolves into its next iteration, it's going to be running on this engine as well. And you can see how amazing the water looks now. Looks really, really good, doesn't it? Really, really good. And they've added things like hiking trails, campsites, and that sort of stuff, which kind of isn't that military, is it? You know, it's very, very DayZ. So I thought what we'll do, we'll take a kind of a little bit of a... Oh, and there's ambient birds. Oh, I forgot to say about that. There they go. They react to noise. How cool is that? So I thought what we'd do is we'd jump in this Jeep, we'll drive up to a little farm that's just down the road, and then we'll go for a little hike. And I just want you to imagine, imagine this is DayZ, so there'll be infected wandering around. Obviously there would be loot. There are some really cool DayZ mods already available for Arma Reforger that seem to be working okay. I haven't really had the time to dive in and give them much of a go myself, and I think I've managed to get myself lost here. Let's turn around. The driving is way better in Arma Reforger than it is in DayZ standalone, and if you're an Arma 3 fan, I can understand how perhaps Arma Reforger could be a little bit jarring, because it definitely has the DayZ look to it and not the Arma 3 look to it. And obviously Arma 3 was on the Real Virtuality engine. Sorry, was it the Real Virtuality engine? Yeah, I think so. Right, there's the farmhouse we want to get up to there, and then we'll go out on foot. I mean, this looks... I know it's difficult in videos on YouTube to kind of watch this and think how good it looks. Maybe if you go full screen and go to full quality, it will give you an idea. But it is pretty special, this. Pretty special. Right, here we go. This all looks very DayZ, doesn't it? You got one of the ideas behind this version of Enfusion is that things look great even close up. So you have amazing graphics in the distance, and then you can also have amazing graphics close up as well. And the clarity of stuff is just so good. We might as well have a quick look inside this pub. I think one thing they maybe need to work on is the doors, but look at these interiors. How cool are they? Read an interesting post about Arma Reforger with the devs responding to someone saying, questioning Arma Reforger's, what's the point in doing updates for this? It's just really a beta on its way to Arma 4. And they kind of said, no, actually, Arma Reforger is its own standalone game. It will be part of the Arma franchise. It's not going to be big as Arma 3 or as Arma 4, but it's definitely something we want to end up being, a game that people play. I mean, obviously you can play at the moment. There's, I think it's Conflict is the main game mode, isn't it, where you go to take over the whole island. And there's many mods that introduce different game modes as well. And I think we can all appreciate how good this looks and how DayZ it looks, which I guess is what I'm trying to get across here as well. If you play Arma 3, I mean, don't get me wrong, Arma 3 can look really, really good with the right lighting conditions and with the right map loaded. It looks very, very good indeed. But I think this just takes it to the next level in terms of you just feel you're in the environment a lot more, in the same way that you kind of do with DayZ. You know, even DayZ on console, which does suffer because the textures aren't quite as good. Now this is on PC, but remember, Arma Reforger is on Xbox as well. And so you can check this out for yourself. I think the mistake they made with Arma Reforger was charging for it at the beginning when it wasn't really red. Like, look at these signs; these are familiar, aren't they? When it wasn't really ready for prime time. I think if they'd waited 6 months before they'd released Arma Reforger, things would have gone a lot better. There was problems at the beginning because the servers didn't work, and the whole point was that you had this big 64-player, 32 versus 32 massive game mode, kind of Battlefield wise, but on a huge island, you know, something that console players hadn't had before. And it was unfortunate, it just didn't work. The servers just didn't work to start off with, which meant that people bought it and were very disillusioned and stopped playing it. But now things are much smoother. I'd imagine official helicopters are just around the corner. They've committed to getting the UH-1 Huey and Russian helicopter in the game. They said they don't plan on releasing any jets, fixed-wing aircraft for Reforger as part of its lifetime. That will be coming with Arma 4, but people are already modding in. There's an A10 Thunderbolt mod that's out there already that I will have to do a video about, actually, because it's pretty cool. But you know, when you see this, if you didn't know this was Arma, you would say this is a really good looking version of DayZ, isn't it? This is very, very nice indeed. And the ambient sounds are sweet. The shadows, the foliage, the rocks. I'm a big fan of good looking rocks in video games. I think that first really came to the fore for me was playing something like the original Star Wars Battlefront. You know, the first EA one. Oh, the rocks in that were good. And then the rocks in Battlefield 1 as well. They were something else, those rocks. Now we're just going up here because there is a rather nice castle. You know, why would you put hiking trails in a military game? I mean, you'd have the trails there, wouldn't you? But why would you bother having the markers? Screams DayZ to me, the fact that they're just practicing getting the assets ready to I mean, I don't know whether they're going to do something like a full map conversion of Chernarus to the new Enfusion engine, you know, and adding all this extra detail in. The beauty with Chernarus is that it is such a well-designed map. It's such a good map that there's few maps in any other game that come close really to the flow of that. But these, I must admit, Everon is a nice. Obviously, I think it's really too small really for a DayZ. Well, is it too small? You could have it as a DayZ map, couldn't you? As long as you had a limited number of players. You know, maybe you had like 15 player max servers, that sort of stuff. It would be good. But with the game looking like this, I mean, we know that the DayZ mods will be are taking advantage of this. The only thing that kind of is stopping me from doing a lot more coverage of the Arma Reforger DayZ mods is they seem to be very PvP focused, and for me DayZ is about survival, you know, rather than PvP stuff. I'm not that bothered about picking up lots of different military type weapons. You know, I want that zombie survival experience where everything is difficult to get hold of. And in fact, I tell you what we should do. Let's see if we can go into the Games Master. And let's just change the scenario properties to nighttime. And then hopefully, if we do it as clear, and can we and then let us remember. Can I remember the controls? Oh. I don't think I can. Let's see if I can remember my controller. I'll switch it on then. So we press that button, get the flashlight out, press X to turn it on. Okay, flashlight doesn't want to come on. Okay, that's fair enough. It's probably because we're in the games master mode and it's not too fond of that. So let's change it to early morning, and let's make it a little bit cloudy as well. So you've got a bit of overcast clouds. There we go, look at those clouds. It's little things like this, you see. This is so DayZ. It's unbelievable. Obviously these are all over DayZ, but these are as well. The kiosks, they're getting ready, aren't they? They really are getting ready. And there we are on the top. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I mean, look at that view down there. Brilliant. So I think we can, probably all agree this is getting very close to a state where it would make a very nice little DayZ map, wouldn't it? Very, very nice indeed. I wonder if we're going to see it sooner or later. I mean, the mods are there already. I'm not taking anything away from the guys and girls that have made the mods. But to see an official... I wonder if we'd see something like a DayZ Reforger. Oh my gosh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's enough for me. That's enough of my rambling. Hopefully this has given you a little bit of a taste. If you're on PC, pick up Arma Reforger, give it a go. If you're on Xbox, pick it up that way as well. Don't expect a full game. It is a work in progress, but it allows you to be part of the development towards Arma 4 and towards DayZ 2. I personally am very happy with the progress that's going on so far. So that's enough from me. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, hit like, want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.